Hi, I'm Gareth, your tech support representative here at Atlantic British. Today we're working on a 2005 L322. It's in need of new rear shock absorbers. We're going to be installing these new Bilstein replacement shock absorbers here that we sell. The top mount is held on by 3 studs and 3 nuts up underneath the carpet, which we'll show you momentarily. The lower mount is bolted with a big long bolt through the lower control arm of the vehicle. So, like I said a short while ago, we're replacing the shock absorbers because the lower bushing in the shock absorber itself is blown out on this side. Literally, totally the rubber casing is separated from the steel sleeve. If you want to get a closer look, you can see here how it's almost off of the bolt at this point here. So the first job is to pull out the load space area cover. As you can see, I'm kneeling on the spare tyre here. These shocks do look like they've been replaced once before. This car does have a few miles on it. The carpet has already been removed once, but if you can lift the carpet up without too much damage or take off a few of the brackets, that would be a good start. The nuts that hold the top of the shock on are a 16mm nut. They are pretty tight, so do expect to have to work them a little bit with a breaker bar. I've loosened them off already, and I'll be working from both sides, the lower face and the top face in here, but we just wanted to show you where the shock mount came through the floor of the car so you can access it easier. Of course, the rear seats, the base, has to be folded all the way forward to access. So I've set the car up. I've got a jack stand underneath the lower control arm supporting all the suspension and any the main suspension components, so that will relieve the tension on the shock absorber. I'm going to undo it from the inside first so it can move a little freely. I think because the shock absorber is the lower bushing is so blown out, I'll be able to just pull it off and remove it. Okay, so we have the vehicle supported at the lower control arm by the jack stand, which relieves the tension on the shock absorber. We're going to undo this nut. I'm going to wire brush it and put some WD-40 on it so we can slacken it off and drive out the bolt that holds the shock absorber to the lower control arm. So I've removed the hardware from inside the vehicle, the 3 16mm nuts from the top mount of the old strut. We're going to be putting a new Bilstein strut in there, shock absorber I should say. Because the old bushing is so blown out, this thing is just going to literally fall off of the lower mount, and it did. And I'm pulling it out gently now, not to hit anything. So this is the old strut. As you can see, the bushing's totally blown out of it. You can see the old steel shell of the old bushing. We're going to be replacing it as a whole new assembly. The next job for me is to remove the nut, pull the main bolt out that supports everything, install a new one, and then remount it at the top. Here we have the bolt removed from the vehicle off the lower control arm. As you can see, this is the bushing, which is actually part of the shock absorber, which totally blew out, and as you can see, it's all worn away. This is going to be removed and thrown away because it comes with the new shock absorber. This is the bolt that holds everything together. As you can see, it's a little bit rusty. I'm actually going to clean it up on the wire wheel here that we're lucky enough to have, clean up the threads. I'm going to put some anti-seize compound on the bolt so we don't have to worry about it being serviceable in the future. Everything should come apart if it needs to. And I'm going to start reinstalling the new shock absorber. So this is the new shock absorber, as I explained before. I'm going to put it down into the suspension assembly first, slide it up into place, hold it on by the 3 nuts initially, loosely, and then mount the lower bolt, and then re-secure everything nice and tightly using a bit of anti-seize on the bottom bolt, just so, like I say, it can be quite easily serviced in the future, and then tighten everything up accordingly. This is the awkward bit. Okay, so we've got the new shock absorber installed, top and bottom, the bolt all cleaned up. I don't know whether you can see it, but it's there, the new bolt, well, old bolt, cleaned up, wire brushed, anti-seize, the nut on this side, right here at the back. As you can see, a bit of anti-seize on there. I've swung on it with a big breaker bar to make sure it's nice, tight and secure. We've wrapped up this side pretty much. The other side, exactly the same way. It could be a little workout for you. You might break a sweat from time to time. And after that, I'm ready to put the wheels back on and make sure I road test the car, make sure we've got no knocks, rattles, bangs, squeaks, and we should all be good.